and welcome to Endeavour's GK Capsule for the month of December 2020. This month, the world witnessed the arrival of coronavirus vaccine and the beginning of vaccination drive in many countries. India also started the preparation for COVID-19 vaccination. Let's look at these and other highlights of the month. The first category is awards and recognitions. The newly elected American President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris were jointly named as Time magazine's Person of the Year 2020. It was for the first time that the Time magazine had chosen to include Vice President as a Person of the Year. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris appeared side by side on the magazine's cover on 21st December edition. They defeated three other finalists: frontline health workers, Donald Trump, and America's leading infectious disease expert, Dr. Anthony Fauci, to win the Person of the Year distinction. According to the Time magazine, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are Time's 2020 Person of the Year for changing the American story, for showing that forces of empathy are greater than the furies of division, and also for sharing a vision of healing in a grieving world. Biden chose Harris, who was born to an Indian mother and a Jamaican father, as his vice presidential running mate, and the two together showed that the US is moving towards a blend of ethnicities. The tradition goes back to 1927, when Time magazine named Charles Lindbergh as the first Person of the Year. Some of the newsmakers chosen by Time had turned out to be infamous, like Adolf Hitler was selected in 1938 and Joseph Stalin was chosen twice in 1939 and 1942. The United Nations Environment Programme has named 7 environmental activists as its Young Champions of the Earth 2020. The Young Champions of the Earth prize is awarded every year to 7 entrepreneurs under the age of 30. These 7 change makers show how innovative ideas, coupled with ambitious action, can solve some of the world's most pressing environmental challenges. A 29-year-old Indian entrepreneur, Vidyut Mohan, is one of the 7 winners of this prestigious award. Vidyut Mohan is the co-founder of Tekachar, which is a social enterprise enabling farmers to prevent burning of their farm residues and earn extra income by converting them into value-added chemicals like activated charcoal. Since its foundation in 2018, Vidyut Mohan's initiative has worked with about 5,000 farmers and processed 3,000 tons of crop residues. This enables rural farmers to earn 40% more income and at the same time reduce air pollution and produce financial lucrative raw material activated charcoal for the air conditioning industry. Vidyut Mohan will receive $10,000 in seed funding by the United Nations Environment Programme to scale up his idea. 2 organizations, Prava and Commutiny, that train youth for leadership roles have won the Social Entrepreneur of the Year 2020 award. The co-founder Ashraf Patel was given the award by the Union Minister for Women and Child Development, Smriti Irani. The Social Entrepreneur of the Year award is presented by Schwab Foundation for Social Entrepreneurship and Jubilant Bharatiya Foundation to entrepreneurs who implement innovative and sustainable solutions to solve India's social problems. The next category is Persons in News. Indian origin global health expert Anil Soni has been appointed as the first CEO of the newly launched WHO Foundation. The WHO Foundation is an independent agency launched in May 2020. The foundation will work alongside the WHO to address the world's most pressing global health challenges. As a separate legal entity, the WHO Foundation will act as a platform for new types of public-private partnership in global health. Anil Soni is a renowned global health expert with 2 decades of experience. He had previously served as the CEO of Clinton Health Initiative and had been a senior advisor at the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Anil Soni assumed charge of WHO Foundation CEO from 1st January. Media executive Uday Shankar has been appointed as the president of FICCI for 2020-21. FICCI, or the Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, is the oldest association of Indian industries. Uday Shankar has succeeded Sangeeta Reddy of Apollo Hospitals as the head of FICCI. Uday Shankar was working as the chairman of Star and Disney Company in India. Noted Hindi poet and journalist Mangalesh Dabral passed away in Delhi at the age of 72 years. He suffered a heart attack following COVID-19 related complications. Mangalesh Dabral was born in Uttarakhand. He has published 5 collections of poetry: हम जो देखते हैं, पहाड़ पर लालटेन, घर का रास्ता, आवाज भी एक जगह है, and नए युग में शत्रु. He had also published 2 collections of prose, लेखक की रोटी and कवि का अकेलापन, and a travel diary, एक बार आयोवा. He was awarded the Sahitya Academy Award in 2000 for his poetry collection हम जो देखते हैं. His poetry was translated in all major Indian languages and several foreign languages as well, including Russian, German, Dutch, Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, French, Polish, and Bulgarian. Mahashay Dharampal Gulati, the owner of the spice brand MDH, passed away at the age of 98 years. Fondly called Dadaji or Mahashayji, he started his shop in Delhi after partition of the country and went on to build MDH as one of the leading spice manufacturers of India. In 2019, he received Padma Bhushan from President Ramnath Kovind. Dharampal Gulati was also India's highest paid consumer product CEO for 2017, during which he took home over rupees 21 crores as salary. MDH was started by Dharampal Gulati's father Chunilal in 1919 as a small shop in Pakistan. After the partition, late Gulati moved to a shop in Karol Bagh, Delhi, and further opened 15 factories supplying 1,000 dealers in India. The next category is places in news. The height of world's tallest peak, Mount Everest, has been revised by 86 centimeter. The new height of Mount Everest is 8,848.86 meters, which is an increase of 86 centimeters. The previous height of 8,848 meters was determined in 1954 by the Survey of India. A joint mission of Nepal and China has announced the new height of Mount Everest. New Zealand provided technical assistance to Nepal in conducting this exercise. The historical fort cities of Gwalior and Orchha in Madhya Pradesh have been included in the World Heritage Cities list of UNESCO. UNESCO aims at promoting world peace and security through international cooperation in education, sciences, and culture. A UNESCO team will visit Madhya Pradesh in the coming months to prepare a master plan for the beautification of these 2 cities. Gwalior was established in the 9th century. The city is known for its temples and palaces. Orchha was the capital of the Bundela kingdom in the 16th century. The city has many temples and forts like Jahangir Mahal, Raj Mahal, Rai Praveen Mahal, Ram Raja Temple, and Lakshmi Narayan Temple. Let us now look at major highlights in the category of national news. The Karnataka High Court ruled that the right of any individual above 18 years of age to marry a person of his or her choice, irrespective of religion or caste, is a fundamental right enshrined in the Constitution of India. This liberty relating to the personal relationships of 2 individuals cannot be encroached by anybody irrespective of caste or religion. The court gave the verdict in a petition filed by software engineer Wajid Khan seeking the release of his wife Ramya from the confinement of her parents. After hearing Ramya's submission, the High Court said that the woman, being a software engineer, is capable of making a decision about her life. The decision of the Karnataka High Court is important as it comes in the backdrop of many state governments like Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh bringing a law against the so-called love jihad. The central government has released the guidelines for the coronavirus vaccination drive. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has announced the release of CoWIN platform for vaccine distribution in the country. CoWIN or COVID-19 Vaccine Intelligence Network is an indigenously developed platform in partnership with the United Nations Development Programme and the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. It will provide real-time monitoring of vaccine stocks and distribution status. The central government has asked the states to check the data on healthcare workers who would be given the COVID-19 vaccine in the first phase. Once the vaccination drive starts, people can self-register through CoWIN platform's website as well as the mobile app. The vaccine will be offered first to the frontline workers, healthcare workers, and persons who are above 50 years of age. They will be followed by people who are younger than 50 years of age and have associated comorbidities. Finally, the remaining population of the country based on vaccine availability and spread of the disease. In an attempt to control crimes against women and children in Maharashtra, the state cabinet has approved a new bill with stricter punishments. The bill is called Shakti Bill. The Shakti Bill is modelled on the lines of Disha Bill of Andhra Pradesh, which was brought in 2019. The Shakti Bill will amend the existing laws to introduce stringent punishment in cases involving sexual crimes against women and children. The bill has the provision of death penalty in cases of gang rape. The acid attack victims shall be provided with a compensation of 10 lakh rupees for plastic surgery and facial reconstruction. The threatening and intimidating of women on social media is also made a crime punishable with 2 years of imprisonment and 1 lakh rupees fine. The next category is news from the field of business, economy and industrial sector. The 6-membered Monetary Policy Committee of RBI has announced its bi-monthly review of monetary policy on 4th December. After reviewing the current macroeconomic and financial developments, the MPC voted unanimously to keep the policy repo rate unchanged at 4%. Reverse repo rate was also kept unchanged at 3.35%. RBI also decided to continue with its accommodative stance of monetary policy to revive growth and keep the inflation rate under control. According to RBI, inflation is likely to remain high for the next 2 quarters. The real GDP growth is also expected to show a decline of -7.5% in the year 2020-21. The Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority IRDAI has approved the acquisition of Bharti AXA General Insurance Company's non-life insurance business by ICICI Lombard General Insurance Company Limited. The Bharti AXA ICICI Lombard deal had already received the approval from Competition Commission of India. At present, Bharti Enterprises owns 51% in Bharti AXA General, while its French partner AXA has 49%. Under the deal, the entire general insurance business of Bharti AXA would be transferred to ICICI Lombard. The consolidated entity will have a market share of approximately 9% in the general insurance segment. The US Treasury has put India in its currency manipulator watch list for the 3rd time. The inclusion in the list comes nearly a year after India was excluded from the list. The list contains countries with a potential of currency manipulation and questionable foreign exchange policies. The US government names a country as currency manipulator if it believes that the country is engaging in unfair trade practices. India has been put on the monitoring list due to the increased foreign currency purchases by the RBI after an increase in portfolio flows in the second half of the year. Once a country is included in the currency manipulator list, it will remain there for 2 consecutive reports. Being designated as a currency manipulator may have repercussions on the reputation of our country in the financial market. The next category is reports and rankings released in this month. The United Nations Development Programme released the Human Development Index Report 2020 on 15th December. The index ranks different countries on 3 key components of human development, namely income, education, and health. India dropped 2 places in the Human Development Index this year and is now placed at 131st rank out of 189 countries. However, if the index is adjusted for planetary pressures or climatic damage caused by each country's development, then India would move up by 8 places in the ranking. The index compared India's performance in the HDI with other countries in South Asia. As against India's rank at 131, Bangladesh is ranked at 133, while Pakistan stood at 154th place. The Human Freedom Index 2020 was published by American think tank Cato Institute and Fraser Institute in Canada. The index presents the state of human freedom in the world based on personal, civil, and economic freedom. The index ranks 162 countries on 76 different indicators in areas like rule of law, security and safety, freedom of movement, freedom of religion, freedom of expression, etc. The top 5 countries of the world in terms of Human Freedom Index are New Zealand, Switzerland, Hong Kong, Denmark, and Australia. India dropped by 17 places in the Human Freedom Index this year and is now placed at 111 rank out of 162 countries. The next category is science and technology. China has successfully activated its nuclear-powered artificial sun for the first time on 4th December. China's artificial sun is a nuclear fusion reactor. It is China's largest and most advanced nuclear fusion experimental research device. The reactor is located in Sichuan province. It was completed in late 2019. The reactor generates power by applying powerful magnetic fields to a contained loop of hot plasma, which can reach temperatures of more than 150 million degrees Celsius, which is almost 10 times hotter than the core of the sun. The Chinese nuclear fusion reactor was switched for a brief test on 4th December. The successful activation of the nuclear fusion reactor is being hailed as a significant scientific achievement, as it comes at a time when countries across the world are attempting to shift to safer, cleaner forms of nuclear energy. The reactor is expected to fuel China's energy ambitions for years to come if it is made more sustainable. ISRO has successfully launched India's 42nd communication satellite named CMS-01. This is the second satellite launched by ISRO amid the coronavirus outbreak. CMS-01 is the first in a new series of communication satellites by India after GSAT and INSAT series. The satellites were launched from Sriharikota on PSLV C-50 rocket. An international team of scientists have collected the first possible radio signal from an exoplanet. The signals were received by a low-frequency array radio telescope located in Netherlands. The exoplanet is located in a star system situated 51 light-years away from the Earth. The discovery of radio waves in the exoplanet of the star system will open up a new way to examine the universe. The radio waves help to learn about the magnetic field of the planet. This will in turn help the astronomers to decipher the interior of the planet and also study about its atmospheric properties. The Indian Oil Corporation Limited has recently launched the first 100-octane petrol in the selected cities of India, namely Delhi, Noida, Gurgaon, Agra, Chandigarh, Jaipur, Mumbai, Ludhiana, Pune and Ahmedabad. Octane ratings are the measure of fuel stability. It is the ability of the fuel to avoid knock. Higher the octane number, higher is the resistance of the fuel to knock. Knock occurs when the fuel is prematurely ignited in the engine cylinder. This degrades the efficiency of the engine and damages the engine. In other words, higher the octane number, the fuel can withstand more compression after detonating. At present, only 3 octane grades are available in India. They are 87 octane petrol, called the regular petrol, 89 octane grade, called the mid grade, and 91 to 94 octane grade, called the premium petrol. The next category is sports. Jehan Daruwala created history by becoming the first ever Indian to win a Formula 2 race during the Sakhir Grand Prix in Bahrain in December 2020. The 22-year-old Jehan was driving for Rayo Racing Team. Jehan Daruwala defeated Formula 2 champion Mick Schumacher and Daniel Ticktum in a thrilling battle to become the first Indian winner of a Formula 2 race in Bahrain. International Cricket Council has announced the men's 2020 one-day and test teams of the decade. The former Indian captain MS Dhoni was named as the captain of ODI and also the captain of T20 teams of the decade. Virat Kohli was announced the skipper of ICC Test Team of the Decade. MS Dhoni, Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma and Jasprit Bumrah are the 4 Indian players in ICC's T20 Team of the Decade. The ICC's ODI Team of the Decade includes Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, other than Captain Dhoni. Virat Kohli and Ravichandra Ashwin are the 2 Indians included in ICC's Test Team of the Decade. In the end, let us look at some other miscellaneous news items. As per Google India's year-in search result, Indian Premier League has beaten coronavirus to be India's most searched word on Google in the year 2020. IPL became the first major cricket tournament to be held in a bio-bubble amid the pandemic without a live audience in the UAE. In other results, the top trending personality in India in 2020 was Joe Biden. In a rare celestial event on 21st December, Saturn and Jupiter came so close to each other that they appeared as one single bright dot, though the distance between them was 735 million kilometers. As this conjunction occurs after 400 years, it is called Great Conjunction. The last time these planets came this close was in July 1623. With this, we have come to the end of this video. We hope you liked the coverage of topics in our monthly GK capsules. Do also watch our other videos. Happy learning. Thank you.